Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Monday. We are Inroads Productions. This is episode 3 of Champions of the Gods. We are all here playing 5th edition D&D in Theros, in the Magic the Gathering area. So let's see. So far in our tale, we have 5 champions of their respective gods who met at the Festival of the Faithful. The illusion wizard came out victorious. Got to meet with an oracle, and they've been sent on a quest to go to the Temple of Nykthos, low in the Ornead Mountains. The party last time kind of met up for a quick breakfast. Some people were amicable to be talking to each other. Some people excused themselves from the conversations. Um, the party was gifted horses or donkeys in some cases right outside of the city gates and decided to travel in a northeasterly direction through the Laguna Plains, where they met a herd of traveling centaur traders with their big cart. They were willing to sell some potions to members of the party until Joven decided to steal a bag of gold from one of the main barterer, who noticed with a pretty epic investigation check and kicked Joven in the chest, and then told everyone that they didn't do business with thieves, and they fucking left. Then the party continued further on into the Plains of Fairies. They were camping for the night. They got ambushed by a group of centaur raiders, and some lightning bolts were called down. Some spells were dispelled. Some one-on-one fights were had, and the party was victorious, keeping one centaur alive for questioning. But as soon as he was kind of let go, he was instantly killed via spell, and the party went back to sleep. And that's kind of where we are right now. We are on the morning of the 7th of Thryambian, the 5th month of the year. The party has just kind of woken up after camping on the plains of fairies on their way to Nykthos. So I ask the party which direction whoever's leading, show us where you want to go. There's lots of different ways to get there, but this is where you're trying to be right now.
I'm going to say what I said before, in that we should go around the river rather than cross it. It's a very wide river. So either we can go across those mountains, or we can go to the river's edge and walk along the river up to the north and go around it.
It's gonna take.
I would prefer to go around the mountains than cross them myself.
It's gonna take a long time to do that. Could I have a boat?
So you do not want to go through the mountains, but you do not want to cross the river.
I'm not the most capable swimmer or mountain
It seems to
climber,
me we will need to cross the river no matter what.
or go around it.
Go around it. Where? To the north?
Yes,
To Tetmos and Oreskos?
yes.
You want to deal with the Leonin?
Well, see what you guys are capable of. What is it that you would wish to do? Perhaps.
Let's go to Cetesa.
All right, that sounds fine with me.
I have no objections with that.
Going around the river wouldn't put us that far out of our way.
You guys can't swim?
Can your horse swim?
My pony? Applejack? No. I just leave her and let her roam free.
You do not need to be worried about the fucking river. We are we are 14th level. I can get us across the fucking river. How about not going to the barren wastelands and the fucking godless Leonin?
All right. Well, I've seen you do some crazy things, so I see no reason not to trust you with this.
Yeah, make it happen.
Well,
I'd say
we're
we
not
cross
very
the
close to
river.
right now. We're pretty fucking far away from the river, so I'm not going to do it yet.
I'm just saying when we get there, that's all.
So to Satessa.
Okay. So we are traveling kind of in a straight direction towards the city of Satessa.
Yes.
Okay. Damaskinos, give me a history check, real quick, since it was your
character sheet.
suggestion to go to Satessa. Okay.
28.
With a history check of 28, you would easily know your party is going to have a hard time talking to anyone and being trusted in Satessa, mainly because you are all males. Satessa is run by women. The only job that men have are usually like hawkers and hunters and animal traders that are usually set up at the Summer Nexus and at the fortress at the Amatrafon. So going to Satessa, while you don't feel that they will show you any ill will, it's not like you're going to be welcomed into the city with open arms. They might not even let you. Joven and maybe Bucephalus might be able to stay within the city walls. The rest of you, probably not so much.
I mean, they don't like men there that much, but that shouldn't not be too much of a problem.
Yeah, I can always disguise myself as a woman.
I don't think I could possibly be mistaken for anything other than a man.
Do not have female minotaurs?
Yeah, you want me to show you how to do
Of
it?
course we do.
How do you reproduce?
That isn't the point.
You need to get really far away. I would recommend at least a 3-mile radius.
I don't have any crazy magics to turn myself into a female.
You don't.
You could do this.
All right, who is leading the party? While you guys, I'm assuming we're kind of having these conversations while we're en route to Satessa.
I will be the vanguard.
All right. So, Bucephalus, go ahead, give me an investigation check. Or, I'm sorry, a perception check, as you are on your way.
It's so bad.
So, being the 5th month of the calendar year, it's fairly warm in the days. You now kind of know the warning signs of what to hear for when listening for, a fairies raiding parties, and it's not that far actually to get out of fairies land until you start getting into like land that's controlled by Satessa and under the guard. So after a couple of hours, maybe just 2 short hours, you kind of see it over the horizon before you get there. And it is a very large, like, white marble tower. You notice the presence of a lot more hawks and, like, falcons circling over in the area. And as you start to approach the Amatrafon, you see a couple of centaurs that are not dressed like fairy centaurs, and a couple of human males, a couple of satyrs that are kind of out there working with younger male children, with like swords, with bows and arrows, kind of teaching them. And as you approach this kind of tower, you notice it's more like a rookery for ways of where falcons are being trained, where falcons are being raised and taught to hunt and to deliver messages and such.
Would I know anything about this place?
With the history check that you had before, you would know that this is where primarily one of the places that men in Setessa work, and it's where they're trained for military purposes, and they're trained for like falconry.
So this is a Setessan outpost, basically.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
At the northern border to protect the Setessa lands from the fairy centaurs.
Well, do you want to visit or keep going?
I'm indifferent either way. I mean, I have no attachment to this place.
Yeah, no one tries to stop you. No one comes up to you and like tries to stop you from walking. It's just they kind of look at Bucephalus a little weird at first, and kind of tense up. But when they see the rest of the party that he travels with, they kind of relax a little bit. They kind of put down their weapons slightly.
Are there any centaur children?
Yes.
Any of the centaur children that look at me? I kind of give them a nod.
They kind of like nod back and they kind of play. You notice one of them kind of like starts kind of galloping over to you, and he gets kind of like smacked on the rear a little bit by his trainer for not paying attention, and then he kind of reluctantly turns back.
Well, let us ride on then to Setessa.
Okay. As you keep going, you start to notice the landscape starts kind of changing. Trees are getting larger. The canopies are getting higher. You're starting to really get into more of like the woods. As you approach Setessa, you kind of notice the walls of the city are made out of giant warped bended trees, making kind of like these natural walls that form the city. It is during the daytime, so the gates, while guarded, are not guarded heavily. So when you kind of approach, you just see a couple of women with spears kind of sitting by the
Before
front.
we get there, before we get to the guards,
Okay.
with the wait there, with the pause, everyone say, hold up, get out of the gate, come here, hold up.
What?
I'm going to trace a tattoo of a mask on my inner wrist. I'm going to say, it is time to change, yeah? And I'm going to cast Seeming on all of us to make us... You not seen in Mulan?
Oh, guys, that episode of the anime. All right.
Everyone's going to be a female version of themselves. Karanar is going to have just big old titties, just like bouncing around. And then... yeah, there is going to just be a female version of themselves. You can resist if you want to. That's a charisma saving throw.
I'm not gonna resist.
And what's your save?
My save is 18.
No!
18.
Good luck,
Okay.
motherfucker. And I'm gonna give Bucephalus a nipple ring, and then I'm gonna snap my fingers, and it's gonna be a real nipple ring. Think about that.
Oh!
Okay.
Just one?
Just one.
I can only do one object. Hey, how's that on first dice?
So as you get to the gates, everyone kind of sees you, and the guards do stop you for just a moment, just kind of ask, and they say, "Greetings, travelers. What is your business here today in Setessa?"
Yes, I am Damaskinia of the Decatia. I am here as an emissary from Miletus, and I seek to pass through to Nykthos.
Ah, well, you'll be wanting to use the Cypress Gates then.
Indeed.
And your
I can
traveling
make
companion.
I can make it a separate check if you want me.
At this point, I don't think you need to, because for the most part, what you've said is true. You just look like women. And your traveling companions are going to stay in the city as well.
Just this night, we must make haste to Nykthos upon the morning.
Oh, well, um, yes, I suppose there are many places, yes, for you to stay close to the Abora Market. Are you familiar with this city?
No, I've been unfortunately sheltered much of my life in Miletus, but I look forward to seeing the wonders of your fine city.
I'm just like looking down at my breasts and kind of like
I'm looking at him
messing with them a little bit.
They they kind of are
Kinda
slightly distracted at the fact that Kirinar is effectively like cupping herself, but they kind of explain to you that Setessa functions much like a giant tree. That the center of the city is within the giant tree that rests in the middle, and it kind of works like tree rings as it goes out. And if you just follow the path that you're on right now, the main road will take you down into the heart of the city, where the palace is. But it's also where the Abora Market. It's where many of the traders go. Like it's definitely the place to go. And they tell you that in the morning, when you want to leave, you pass through the Winter Nexus on the eastern end of town and go on to the Cypress Gates. And you'll be allowed to pass over the river there. And they kind of bid you
bless
on your way.
child.
As you're walking through the city, you notice there's a lot of activity going on. There's, again, primarily women. But considering that you're all now women in disguise, one of the things that you notice is that gender seems to be very fluid here in Setessa. While you have women who are guards, you get the feeling that they might not have been women their entire life, and that maybe they are just people who now identify as women, for lack of a better term. You notice a lot of small children running around. It looks like, Joven might be a little put off in terms of all of these children. Immediately his mind would go to, they're like pickpockets. Like these are like little swarm, but there are probably more small children running around than there are adults. And they kind of have free reign of the city. There's not really adults kind of telling them where to go and what to do. And everyone kind of sees you, and for the most part, with the exception of Tehol and Damaskinos, they don't really give you that odd of looks.
All right, we're going to stay in the city. We'll leave tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry, what? I was distracted.
Sounds like a plan. I mean, sounds like a plan.
Please don't ever do that again.
Everyone must do that. This is how it works.
At this point, it's only like, let's see, how many miles can you go an hour? 8 miles an hour. 6. It's only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'll go. We have to maintain this charade all day. What kind of crazy hijinks are we going to get into?
I mean, we could just keep going as well. We could just walk right through.
We
I
absolutely
believe it's pronounced charade, sugar.
Oh no. I'm going to do a Constitution saving throw to not throw up. If that's okay with you.
You pass. You
All right.
kind of get a little bit of, and then it push that urge.
No, do not like that. Do not like that.
I think you were supposed to say it like this, sugar. Trying to copy his voice. I think it's like that, right? Nope, nope, nope. Trying to get it down.
Let's all practice our voices. This is good use of the day.
I'm gonna look around for somebody to steal from, so
Okay.
Oh, good. All right, time to leave, everybody. Let's go.
Well,
I'm
I
obviously
mean,
not telling people I'm doing this.
as you get closer into the center of the city, you'd come upon the marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
which would be probably you think your best shot at being able to steal something from someone.
Okay. Anybody looks just like they'd be easier targets.
I mean, there's
Maybe somebody who's selling something or
there's
has somebody
tons of
working
people
with them.
here. It's very like central bazaar. Like think of flea market.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it is a huge open market. There are tons of stalls. There are lots of citizens buying, selling, trading.
Mhm.
It's very much this city is kind of its own microcosm. They don't trade a lot with outsiders. They all get
Okay.
what they need
Would,
here. So
would we
anything you could find, you could find.
would we know the status of like what gods they worship here and kind of how we would react to that?
Y- Yeah. You being from Akros and Melitus, make a religion check for me, Karanar.
Sure.
I would also like to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. It's a pretty low DC, but so with a 10, yeah. So Karametra is the god of the harvest, is pretty much considered the queen of Satessa. And for those that worship her, they say when she does appear in like mortal form, this is where she appears, like in a throne in the palace in Satessa, which isn't very often. But towards the summer and autumn nexus, a lot of the Fae that live in the city, satyrs and centaurs and stuff, also worship Nylea, the goddess of the hunt, equally as much, because she kind of holds domain over the Nissian woods to the south,
Okay.
and they kind of work very well in play with each other.
Thank you.
hmm So Joven, there's lots of different things. Like, are you trying to steal gold? Are you trying to steal goods? What is it that you're
Gold,
looking
yeah.
to take?
Pretty much anything.
Okay,
Gold would be nice.
okay. So yeah, you
Or
can kind
even
of
like a change purse or something.
okay, you can kind of take your pick and describe to me how you want to try and do this. There's a whole bunch of different carts. There are lots of people around.
If I just see somebody with a I don't know, like a like a change bag or whatever.
Yeah,
the
you
fuck
just
it's
want to
called.
lift someone's change purse off them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give me
Maybe if there's
a
one that's like loosely hanging off of somebody,
okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
25.
Okay. So there is another a satyr woman who is kind of being circled by like two
Okay.
or three little satyr children, and she looks kind of flustered. Her hands are very full with different goods and stuff, and she's talking about, she's like, come little bears, come, we have to get home. And you notice that she does have a little coin pouch that is kind of hanging loosely out of her pocket, and
Mhm.
you manage, as you're walking by, you just manage to very, very quickly reach in, grab it out of her pocket, and no one is the wiser, not even your party members.
Just tuck it away and just keep walking.
Okay, what does anyone else want to be doing while they're looking around the city?
I would probably be looking for anything, maybe like a blacksmith or something. See if there's anything interesting there.
So most of the weapons, I mean, you can kind of hear some clanking further off. It's not going to be anything that's super fancy because it's not a super well-armed militia.
Okay.
And most of their outposts, you would know, are at like Hunter's Crossing and the Amatrophon, like places that are outside of the city.
Right.
This might be one of the things that they trade by the Centaurs of Lagona through Akros and Melitus for, like the fancier weapons. But you can get anything that's basic.
Okay.
Like anything that's in the player's handbook would be here.
Cool.
I would just like to try to see if anyone has any information about what's going on up in Nykthos. If the travel there, what to be aware of, what to beware of, weather, that sort of thing.
Sure. So just talking with a whole bunch of random people in the center square, the main things that you get is no one that you talk to has ever been to Nykthos, because most people regard it as an incredibly sacred space. It is the home of the gods, because it's one of the rumored connections between this plane and the plane of Nyx, the home of the gods. So most people haven't been there, or at least no one that's currently alive. They do tell you about the Skola Vale, and they say if you are headed up there, make sure to, unless you bring offerings to Nylea, make sure to go around the Vale and not through it, because it is where Nylea's favored live, and it is the sacred woods of the goddess Nylea. And it would be unwise to go in there and disrupt any worship that's going on unless you're going in to like bring offerings.
Okay.
What kind of offerings would they be looking for? Like just money, or is there like something specific that they prefer?
Nylea, like anything that could be hunted, like a gift of meat,
Alive or dead?
either one. Money would also work. Weaponry, usually maybe some blood sacrifices, would work really well as well. Bucephalus, they also tell you about the Cypress Gates. Traditionally, it is technically held by under Cetesian rule. It's usually looked after by the satyrs, and at times it can get a little rowdy. And at times, depending on how much the satyrs are reveling in any given time, they may be more or less inclined to let people through without some kind of bribe and or gift.
I'm gonna look around for something I could try and purchase for them. Like maybe some meat or...
Yeah, one of the carts has a variety of like small woodland creatures that have been trapped, like rabbits, some squirrel, a couple of like fowl. You see one cart with a whole skinned deer that has been kind of roasting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll go buy some. Or
Okay.
try to.
Yeah, you kind of come
Hello,
up.
sugar. Can I have some meat, please?
Just greetings to you. Yes. What is the size of your family here in Setessa? How much meat will you be requiring?
Well, you see, they're pretty large, so a decent amount if you could.
So you have quite a few little bears of your own at home.
Oh, yes I do. Yes I do, sugar.
Well, some of my hunting party brought in this kind earlier this morning. It has been prepared and has been roasting. It should be ready here within the hour, if it's something that interests you.
I'm not sure if
She
I'm gonna
points to
be
the
here.
deer on a spit.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here that long, but hold on 1 second. I'll run back to I assume everybody's still together. Hey guys,
Oh
uh,
God.
are we gonna be here for about an hour? Yes? No? Maybe?
I mean,
I don't see why
No?
we
I
wouldn't.
was just going.
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't.
All right. So, all right. I'll run back. Well, honey, it looks like I'll be here for about an hour, so I'll buy it from you. How much you want for it? All of it.
She goes, for the whole kind, the whole deer.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. She's going to say. Well, if you want the entire thing, I can let it go for say 10 gold.
How about 5?
Well, for 5, I can give you half.
Come on, work with me here. I got a lot of baby bears I gotta feed back there.
Roll a
How about
persuasion
7?
check.
Oh, okay. Okay. 18.
18. 12. She says, "All right, I'll tell you what I can do. Just because you're taking care of the little bears as well. I can give you the whole kind, and I'll throw in 5 rabbits for 10 gold."
All right, that works for me, sugar. Let's do it. I'll take out 10 gold from the 27 I stole. Okay, so that okay. I'll hand it over to her.
She takes out a small burlap sack and she starts stuffing rabbits into the sack and ties it. And she says, "Unfortunately, I don't have a bag large enough for the kind." But she just kind of takes the whole spit and kind of hefts it up and kind of just hands it to you, still tied to like a stick.
Can I see where she's putting the money?
Yeah, she has a pouch on her belt that's tucked underneath her overcoat.
Okay. I'm gonna wave everybody to come over to see if they can pick this up, because I can't.
I trot over. Femininely.
Hey, you wanna help me out over here? You look mighty fine.
I'll also walk over
Uh-huh.
slowly.
I gotta say-
kind of like strutting my stuff, you know.
You guys look much better as women, I gotta say.
Oh, thanks for the compliment, dear.
Is there a cartographer's guild or something in this town?
They might have maps of the surrounding area, but
Yeah,
it's
that
probably
sounds-
not going to be anything better than what you currently have.
Okay, I was seeing if they would have anything, any information on the river, what to beware of with the river, if there's anything in it, if there's any extra rapids, flooding, etc. That sort of business with the river.
Roll a nature check for me, and we're assuming that
Lord.
you can be talking with other people about this stuff too.
Ah, so many untrained things. All right, try my hacks. 16.
Okay. In asking the right questions and gathering some stuff from people, they say that this time of year, the Spurge River doesn't actually flood that often. It's more earlier on in the spring, right when the first snows start to melt from the lower Ornead Mountains. It's the only time that flooding is really necessarily a worry. It's a fairly slow-moving river. Many people do ford it or can ford it if they need to be. But if you're traveling through the Cypress Gates, there's a bridge there that covers the river, so you won't have to worry about
Excellent.
it anyway.
Thanks.
Calliope, what the fuck are they doing over there?
So yeah, you guys have a sack of rabbits. You have a roasted deer on a spit.
Everyone back on the bus. Let's go, Cypress Gate.
Before we leave, can I try? Is there any way for me to get in there and take that money back that I gave to her?
Oh no, here
You-
we go.
You feel unless you're gonna have to get really close, and you're gonna have to reach inside her overcoat.
Okay, never mind.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And as I'm walking, I'm gonna just say to everybody, "Well, it looks like you guys owe me. 'Cause if not, you're not gonna be able to make it past the gate."
Oh
What the fuck are
dear.
you talking about?
We don't owe you anything, dear.
This is a gift, so we can get through
Get through where?
where we're
The
going.
gates?
I owe you nothing.
So you brought the dead rabbits to get through the gate,
If we gotta bribe anybody, sugar?
not for the tribute to Nylea and the Skull of Vale.
No.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm so glad you pay attention, Joven. I love that about you. Let's fucking go. How about that?
So as you guys go to the southeastern edge of the city, following the rings outward, you do also notice these very large groves of trees that are kind of spaced out throughout the place. That the trees almost look humanoid in figure, and if you didn't know better, every so often you'd say that you maybe saw them moving on their own out of the corner of your eye, but every time you focus in on one, you can't actually see it move. And they're kind of more closer to the outside rings of the city. And yeah, you get kind of on your way back out, and the guards tell you it's going to be another hour or so to get to the Cypress Gates.
You gotta keep walking.
Well, we're going to be riding, I assume.
Trot,
Everyone.
trot, trot.
I'll try.
Try,
yeah.
try. How are just because I'm curious, how are we transporting the deer carcass as we're trotting? 'Cause
I'm putting it
as a
on
DM,
Applejack.
I really want to know.
I'm putting it on Applejack, as you know.
Your pony?
You're like stringing the deer behind the pony,
No,
or like
on the
attaching
back.
it to the side of the pony.
I'm tiny. I can put it right on our back.
So you're sitting there and you just have you've wrapped the deer's dead legs around your waist, holding it onto
No.
your pony.
No, I'm sitting on the pony.
Right,
Oh
where's
God!
the deer?
Please listen to what I say, God.
You're sitting on the pony.
I'm praying to Mogus. I'm sitting on the pony, and behind it is the carcass with its body draped over the back, kind of like over its hind parts.
I gotcha. So the legs are
Yeah.
flopped down on either side, almost like saddlebags for your poor pony.
To hopefully,
That sounds horrible.
I want to see if she can do it. Applejack's a strong pony. So
Yeah, she is.
we'll see what happens.
I know, right?
All right. So as you are, as you leave the city, and you're kind of going along a dirt road that's going towards the Cypress Gates, you're seeing a lot more farmland. You're seeing a lot of people kind of out further on the outskirts of the town, working beasts of burden, tending groves, lots of flowers growing around, lots of people in like these really elaborate garland headdresses with small delicate white flowers. and you eventually you can kind of see the cypress gates ahead of you. It is a large kind of, I mean, for this area of the world, it's a large fortress. From those of you coming from Meletis and from Akros, I mean, it looks like a small stone, like miniature fort. But it does have a bridge across the river and a door that can be raised up. And it seems like its purpose is mainly to protect Setessan lands from what's on the other side of the river. And you hear the music as you approach. Before you even kind of get there, there's this very jovial tune. You see a lot of satyrs kind of like out and dancing around, and from really, really far away, it sounds like a party's kind of sort of going on.
Are we still in disguise?
How long does the disguise last, Damaskina?
8 hours. Or until
Oh
I
yeah, I'm still in
understand it.
disguise.
You're still in disguise.
Absolutely. How's Applejack doing?
She's doing okay. Doesn't seem to be too weighed down.
She's got some good endurance.
Hey, Joven, make it a little bit sexier, you know? A little bit of dirty dancing in there. There we go. That's better. I dance walk through the, dance walk through the party.
I'll get off of Applejack so it's a little easier for her. Since we have to walk slow anyway through
Okay.
the city.
And as you're approaching, there's a whole bunch of satyrs that come up to you. They start kind of, especially Joven, they're kind of grabbing you by the hands, and they want to like lead you in a little dance. And there's lots of wineskins being passed around to everyone. It's kind of like, hey, where are you going? Like, don't leave. Stay. Like, join us in the party.
As they have the skins, I'm gonna try and grab a couple of them, drink a quick swig, and give it back.
Haha, you buffoon. You activated their trap card.
Other than that, I'm gonna keep walking.
You say that.
Okay. You guys walk all the way up to the closed gate.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. There are a couple of satyrs that are at the gate that look slightly less inebriated than everyone else that you've kind of run across here. And they ask, Oi, are you guys waiting for passage? You want to get across the river?
That's why we're here, yes.
Yes, we do.
And one of them kind of looks and goes, you gonna go this late at night?
Oh, yes, dear.
You got a death wish?
Should we not go?
I mean, you're going out into the mountains late at night. Unless you want to be eaten by a dragon, that's fine with me.
Oh. Well, if we can't leave now, where can we stay?
Oh, you can definitely leave. Nothing's keeping you here. I just don't recommend it.
Yeah, but we need somewhere to stay if we can't go. And I'm sure a handsome man like yourself would be able to point us in the right direction. And then I'm gonna give him a little wink.
My friend here needs worldly experience. You should show her a good time.
Roll a persuasion check, Joe.
I don't get advantage for the wink.
I'm gonna
No.
give you advantage because Bucephalus was helping.
Just like that.
That's disadvantage.
That might be disadvantage with that way.
That's definitely a disadvantage.
What was
Danny
it again?
DeVito,
Persuasion?
Persuasion. At
Dan
advantage.
DeVito in a wig.
24.
So he kind of, the one you've been, kind of gets in a little bit closer, and he goes, "I don't know about the rest of your friends, but if you need a place to stay, love, you can stay with me tonight."
Well, that would be nice.
Oh, dear, that's a bit abrasive.
I mean, shouldn't you buy me a drink first?
Hey, you're the one who was winking at me, love.
Don't be so
I
modest.
am.
She's all about you. Go ahead. Go do it.
How about you buy me a drink, and then maybe you might get lucky.
pulls out a wineskin and he just hands it to you.
All right, sugar, and I'll start walking to find an inn.
So there's not an inn here. This is a fortress.
Damn it. Then I'm gonna go. Let's go to your house.
He goes, I can take you to my barracks.
I'll let them walk away a little bit, and then I'll end the seaming on us.
Okay.
Where's Applejack?
Damn it.
Right.
But I'll
Applejack
let them
is
walk for a
with
little while first.
Applejack is with me.
Okay. So he
Do I
kind of,
realize it or no?
I don't know. Are you looking down at yourself?
I don't think I would be.
So he kind of looks over at you and he goes, "Oh, I get it. I get it. You're one of those from Setessa that wants to join the military, and you was a woman, but you's not a woman, but you is a woman."
Yep.
So I'll look down. Yep. And then I'll take Applejack. Come on, Applejack. We gotta go.
And he stops. He goes, "Where you going, love? It's all right with me. I don't care. A bit parts is parts."
So as I walk away, I'll give him a slap on the ass and be like, "Sorry, sugar. I gotta go." And I'll run back to them. But I have his water. I have the.
You have his wineskin still.
Yeah, I'm drinking it, and then once it's almost done, I'll throw it to the side.
Okay. So what are the rest of you doing while all of this is going on 50 feet away?
What is the gate made out of? What is it? What the kind of gate is it?
Just like a standard metal portcullis.
Is there like a latch or something, or?
Well, there's like a chain wheel that can be raised on this side of it just to lift it up.
Oh, all right. I'll be directing the Minotaur to that then.
Okay, there's still the one guard here. Joven only took one of them with him.
I see. What do you like?
Who are you speaking to?
This guard over here. What do you like?
What do I like? Well, I like your friend. She was pretty cute. Wait, you look a little different now. Is it just me? Maybe I've had a little too much wine tonight.
Yeah, all right. I can do that. I'll cast Silent Image, and I'll make like a perfect replica of female Joven. Out of like it looks like this perfect painted statue of him, with like some really nice detail work, and like a couple conveniently located ports of call. And then
You
I'm
made
gonna
a fucking sex doll.
and I'm gonna make it real, and it's real now. There you go. Get me to this fucking game.
Do I see this? Do I see this?
No.
No, you're still on your way back, but you're not here yet.
Now, is it a statue or is it like fantasy rubber?
It's like clay, but hasn't been fired yet, so it's still kind of squishy.
Okay.
And I'm going to say you have 1 minute, so I better get that in.
He says, "Oh, all right, you're one of those wizard types. All right, watch me gate. I'll be back in a minute." And he runs away with Joven.
Does he run
with
past me?
female Clay Joven, and he does run past you, Joven, on the way. So you see a satyr with a clay version of female you running past you.
Is that me? Oh my. All right. Fuck it.
That's exactly right.
I'm flattered.
Well, open the fucking gate. Let's go. I have a sphinx to see.
Okay. You guys someone gonna pull the wheel chain winch to lift the portcullis?
I'll
Come
do
on,
it.
Tess. Come on, let's go. I'll help you.
All right. With two of you doing it, don't even need to roll for it. It's a pretty easy kind of thing. It kind of goes up. There's a little latch on it. The portcullis raises. You guys can go through. There is a bridge that's over the river.
Ah, that was too easy.
Puts you on the other side of the river.
Yes, well, now we have a clear path. Hopefully.
And you have about 2 to 3 hours before it's going to start getting dark.
We'll push through to Skola Vale then.
We should maybe make camp on the edge of Skola Wale.
Okay. So are we doing like a straight shot, like this general direction?
Yes.
And we'll make it to about here.
What
Before
we
you
feel is a decent distance from the edge, like a safe space.
Okay. So you get to about here at maybe like a good mile, Bucephalus?
That sounds fine.
Not much space that you want to keep? Okay. So as you guys are kind of progressing and keeping your space,
You know, Joven,
Yep.
I've heard the legend about
Oh?
Nikos. Yes. A colleague of mine once made a pilgrimage there 12 years back. Apostolos was his name.
Okay.
Said that there was a great treasure, priceless scrolls and artifacts hidden there, hoarded away by Medomai. Be quite a sight, eh?
Be nice to take it.
I'm not suggesting that. Just
Me neither, of course. I would never want to steal that from them. I'm sure they're much too strong for me to steal from anyway.
well, you never know. You know, a little misdirection, a little couldn't hurt.
I'd have to have someone helping me, of course. I mean,
Of course.
so if you were ever so in the mood, maybe you could help us, you know.
Maybe. Perhaps.
It would be nice.
Of course you would do something like this. And your god, Mogus, would help you, too.
I'm gonna look at... Were we talking to you? I mean, you're welcome to help us if you'd like. Trying to keep on the accent just a little bit as I work through the different accents.
I wouldn't help you do something like this.
But why not? It could help you bring money back to your family. Bring some riches, some treasures, some powerful items, maybe.
I have all the power I need.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, you're welcome to help me.
You don't need to keep doing the voice. We're not women anymore. We're not even Cetessa.
I'm sorry to say, but I like changing my voice. I like to practice. And then I'm gonna take out something from my bag, quickly turn around, and then I'm gonna change into an old man. Disguise. It's an ability of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like to change my voice and practice, you know. You gotta be able to fit into any situation.
So you turned into Tony.
Yep.
Not bad, Joven. Not bad.
Then I'll take it off. It's getting kind of late. One of us has to keep watch.
I'll keep watch. I don't trust you cowards.
Okay. I'll go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Lumen's tiny hut.
Just for you, Tehol?
Nope, I'll invite Damaskinos in.
Okay.
Hey. I'll pass the threshold, and I'll hand Teol 10 platinum, and I'll say, everything with a cost, eh?
Yep. Seems
So and
fair.
Tehol, what color from the outside is your hut? Like, in other words, can the party see that you've put it up, or are you kind of making it blend in with the background?
No, you can see that it's there.
Okay. Just doing like some light greens to like camouflage it, or are you
Yeah,
just doing
no,
like
it's just
straight
it
up
can-
neon pink and letting everybody
well,
know you're
definitely not neon pink, but maybe just barely see through, but like you can notice it's there.
there? Okay.
Kind of like
Uh,
a frosted glass.
Sure. The other three of you, are you? How are you setting up camp? Are we doing dividing watches, or are we just kind of all going to sleep and hoping for the best?
Kurnar, when you're wake me up when you need to sleep.
Sure, Bucephalus. Great idea.
So who's taking who's staying awake first? Kirinar?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Kirinar,
I don't know what Joven is doing.
I'm going to bed.
Joven. Yeah, he already said he was going to sleep.
Oh.
All right, Kirinar, give me a perception check. So it seems pretty far away, and it's kind of hard to see because it's dark and no one has dark vision. But at the very edges of your vision, in the direction, in a northern direction towards the Vale, you think you see like torchlight. It looks too small to be campfires, and it's not headed in your direction as you see it, and you kind of look at it, kind of track to see if it's getting closer. It seems to be skirting on both edges of the Vale, kind of going around on the outside. And you see this for a couple of different times over the course of your several hours that you're staying up, is kind of these torchlights just kind of light up and seem to go off in a general direction until it gets beyond your field of vision and then
Like a
disappears.
small patrol. something like that.
Possibly.
Okay.
But other than that, nothing else happens during your watch.
Once I get tired, I would wake Bucephalus up. Bucephalus!
What?
I saw some fires on the edge of the Vale, but looked like maybe a patrol or something. Just keep an eye out for it.
I will. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Of course.
Rest.
Okay. And Kirinar goes to sleep. Bucephalus. Go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Perception.
At advantage,
All right.
because you know what you're looking for this time.
12.
You are really good at perception checks, aren't you? This is good to know.
So good.
So with Kirinar pointing out to you what he has seen and kind of what to be on the lookout for, you kind of notice the same thing. It's about an hour or so goes by until you see it, but you see these kind of torch lights. It starts off as one light, and then it kind of splits into two, and then it splits into four. And it does seem that they're moving more on a horizontal alignment than coming closer to you. But what you notice is after they kind of move, some of them disappear and some of them turn into brighter stationary flames that kind of look like they might be campfires. It's still probably a good half of a mile away from you, but it seems like whoever was on patrol that Kirinar had warned you about have now kind of stopped and like maybe set up a camp for the night.
Okay.
In the bubble, I'm going to turn to Teho before we go to sleep. I'm going to say, have you ever heard tell of the Atheria nobles?
Sure, but tell me anyway.
The coins that Atherios seeks. They said if you were to give him one, you would not have to go to the underworld.
That's of no interest to me.
No?
No.
Surely it would please him, though, would it not?
Don't worry.
The toll he once paid?
Yep.
I'm going to try something. Do not be alarmed if it goes awry. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to cast in ritual contact other plane.
Okay.
So I could put me into contact basically with a demigod, the spirit of a long dead sage, or some other mysterious entity from another plane.
Okay.
So I have to make an intelligence saving throw to not go insane.
Right.
I'll do that now.
That's
14.
not good, right?
I go insane.
You do take some psychic damage.
I do. How do I do that?
It's here. It's 14 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
So tell me, who is it that you're trying to contact, Damasceno?
I was trying to contact Solicia, who is a long dead oracle of Miletus. She tarries on the river and insults Atherios. But now I don't know any of that because I'm fucking crazy.
Right. So, Tejo, what you see in front of you is Damasceno starts kind of whispering and he's talking in a language, and then all of a sudden his eyes kind of cloud over, and then they pop open wide, and he starts darting, looking around the room, and he's obviously hearing voices that you can't hear, and he starts just mumbling words. And he's kind of like screaming and kind of looking out and kind of like thrashing around, and he's basically losing his shit right in front of you.
I just would cast Greater Restoration.
Okay. As he casts Greater Restoration, Damascenos, you kind of calm down. The voices in your head subside. The visions that you're racked with are no longer there.
Oh shit, that was not good.
Don't do that again.
I'm going to hand Tejo 100 gold, and I'm going to say, much appreciated, friend.
No problem.
Okay. Are we waking up Joven? Is anyone else taking a third watch?
I will. Everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything laying out from any of them that, like, I don't know, their coin purse or something?
Well, my guess is with Bucephalus. Well, okay, so I know Tehol and Damascenos are in the hut that you can't get in.
Yes.
So Bucephalus and Kiranar, when you went to sleep, what did you do with your stuff?
I'm holding my bag like so. Because I'm well aware of this guy and that he likes to steal.
Right. Makes sense.
And what I would have done is when my watch was done, I would have woken up Kiranar and said, I'm going back to sleep. Joven will be doing the watch. So I'm sure you already know.
I would have I would be pretty adamant that he's not going to dare touch my stuff. So I would keep it near me, but not on my person.
Okay.
Probably like right next to me as I sleep.
Okay. So yeah, Joven, when it's your watch, the two humans are in the hut. Bucephalus is kind of like death gripping his bedroll, kind of here, and Kirinar's asleep, and he's got his stuff near him, but he's not holding on to it.
Okay. I'll try and, as I'm like, hanging out, sneak over. I just want to look through his stuff and see what he's got.
Okay.
See if I can.
So roll a stealth check for me, and Kirinar, roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay. So Joven, you kind of sneak up. You're pretty quiet. Kirinar doesn't show any signs of waking up.
Okay.
And you want to look through his stuff?
Well, I mean, if I can see, just want to see if he has anything valuable.
Like, obviously, he's probably got his weapons.
Yeah,
like,
well, I'm
laying
not
on
going
the
to take his
ground.
weapons. Anything small.
He's got a bedroll.
Yeah.
He's got, like, his backpack.
Yeah, is there anything in the backpack that, or if I can see money, I'm going to take some of it. And then see if there's anything else of value. Necklaces, rings, anything like that that would,
Okay. So, going through his stuff, I need you to make another sleight of hand check.
25.
25. Kirinar, make another con save for me. So, as you start going through his bag, there's a little sound of like clinking metal. And Kirinar, since you were waiting for this, anticipating it with a natural 20 for a 30 against his 25.
Wait, it's at advantage?
His was. Because he was waiting for you to do something like this.
Okay. All right.
So you wake up. I'm not saying that you have to move or anything, but you hear him rifling through your stuff.
I'm gonna be up with my warhammer, both out.
Okay. Joven, you do notice, besides what's in a number explorer's pack, so like some rope, some pittons, some torches, you do see a set of like shackles, and that's what's kind of making this kind of clinky noise, that as soon as you like move them, you hear a clinky noise, and you kind of look over your shoulder to see if Kirinar woke up, and he's standing over you clutching two warhammers.
So I'm going to be pretending to put money in his bag. Hey, Kirinar, I was just trying to give you some extra money. I saw that,
Give me some extra money, huh?
yeah. I did.
Give me one good reason not to smash your brains in.
And I'll point over to Applejack. You can't let her be alone.
I don't care about your animal.
I'll drop. Oop, didn't mean that. Although it was a natural 20. I'll drop two gold in his pouch, and then I'll be like, I was just trying to do something nice for you. Sorry. And I'll walk back to where I was sleeping. No need to get upset.
I am going to get my pouch, and I'm going to now stay awake and count every last coin.
Okay.
To make sure that I have what I was supposed to have, plus whatever he just put in there.
Right. So for the rest of the night, you count, and you notice you do have two more gold than you had before.
Did we hear any of this going on from the inside?
If you guys were still up,
I mean, Kiranar does speak pretty loud.
yeah, I'm sure that you probably it would have woken you up just a little bit. Yeah.
All right. That's all.
Okay. And then Joven, you just kind of go back to bed, or go back to your
back
watch.
to my watch. Yeah.
Okay.
While I'm counting, since I'm awake now, I'm gonna grumble profanities under my breath and kind of curse Joven for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Until I'm done counting and I can fall back to sleep. This time, I'm gonna grab my stuff and kind of clutch it when I go to bed.
Okay. So the rest of the night goes pretty uneventful. Nothing really comes of any of the fires that those of you who are awake had seen. However, when you wake up in the morning, you do notice kind of on the horizon, about a half of a mile out, a little bit of like smoke that kind of like campfire smoke that lingers on the horizon that looks like extinguished flames. And are we going, if we're still headed towards Nykthos, do y'all want to try and go, do you want to go around the Vale, or are we trying to cut through the Vale?
Go through it.
Or just around to either side?
Damaskinos, what do you know about the Wale?
About the Wally?
Yeah.
I know that it has angry, well, not angry, but the chosen of Nylea. Worthy sacrifice might get us through. We have the deer, we have the rabbits. I think that's pretty good. I can spruce it up a little bit, make something that'll last a minute, and then fucking walk away. That's how I usually do it.
Sounds foolproof.
No problem.
Okay.
I mean, what the fuck do we have to fear? Look at us.
True.
So as everyone continues to go north, trying to cut through the Vale, you get about a half of a mile to where you would have seen these fires in the night, Bucephalus, and you come across a satyr camp. There's about 6 satyrs kind of sitting around, kind of packing up their camp for the morning. They're kind of packing everything back up. They've kind of extinguished some fires. And they turn, and one of them, she's kind of wearing this crown made of laurels, again with these kind of white flowers in it. She looks, and in Sylvan, she says to you, what brings you to the Vale today, unfortunate travelers?
It is between us and our destination.
We've come to pay homage to the great Nylea.
Well, unfortunately, Nylea hasn't been in the Vale for quite some time. I wouldn't recommend for your own safety going in the Vale. Not yet. It needs to be cleansed.
What do you mean, cleansed?
Well, several days ago, a fog descended upon the Vale. It brought a great evil with it. Some of the trees have lost their minds. The spiders have come back. There's a cacophonous roaring that sends fear down my spine. I've been praying, looking for an answer, asking Nylea what has happened, and I can't quite make out the visions I've been seeing.
What kind of visions?
I've seen visions of a 3-headed beast. I've seen visions of a blue winged sphinx talking in his temple to humans. I've seen Nylea herself anointing a champion, and granting her bow to the one who can restore the veil. I've seen giant beasts coming in and attacking and ripping the shreds off of every living creature within. I feel there's some kind of order to it, but I just can't place the events in the right sequence.
Would the three-headed beast ring a bell to me, as I've read about monsters of all types?
Give me a nature check.
Nature check. Do I have that? Oh, no, that's not one of my strong suits. It's only a 12.
You've heard of lots of different beasts that have multiple heads. So hearing about a three-headed beast wouldn't be 100% surprising. The idea of a cacophonous roar doesn't strike a bell with you, though.
Does not?
No.
Or does? Okay. Well, I don't know what you all want to do. I say we press through if we can.
Does this sound like something that we would be involved in? Like, my God and everything. Would this be something that, I don't know, sounds familiar to something to, wreak
Like,
havoc
do
or
you
something?
think? Are you asking me if you think this is something like this is Mogus's doing?
Yes, correct.
In your experience with Mogus, desecration is usually something that he's all about,
Mm-hmm.
but not in a subversive way like this. Like if it was Mogus, he would just bring in his followers and they would just kill everybody.
Okay.
But like forcing people to leave their homes because of some kind of unnatural evil is more. He's not that sly. He's not that deceptive.
Okay. Nope. We can go kill some people. More creatures. What do you say?
The goal is to get to Nykthos, correct?
Yeah.
We can go around and get there and not have to deal with any of this.
Well, might be faster.
At this point, the satyr who's been doing most of the talking kind of comes up and she says, "Travelers, you will do as you will do, and normally under different circumstances, Nylea's favor would welcome you to the Vale, but for your own safety, I do suggest that you go around. It's just until I can reach Nylea, until I can figure out what these omens mean and who the champions are who are supposed to restore this Vale, I would hate for you to go in and lose your lives. Most of my people have made it out safely and have started to flee, and eventually I will be able to figure out what the cause is."
Does she seem honest and forthright to me?
Roll an insight check.
I was wondering that as well.
I mean, if you want to roll one,
Or
Ram,
yeah,
you
both
can-
of you can roll it separately, or one of you can roll at advantage.
I'll look over to Tehol and I'll kind of cock an eyebrow at him and be like, "What do you to give him advantage, if I can."
Okay.
Or I'll do something better than that. I'll say, "Oh, it's terrible, terrible. This has happened to you. I feel so badly. What could have possibly caused something like this?"
Tehol, just from your roll, you feel that she's being honest, and you get a strong sense of confusion and fear. And she responds to your name. She's, terribly sorry, traveler. I did not even get your names. I am Cressa, the Sibyl of the Vale. And in my 150 years here, I couldn't tell you what could keep Nylea out of the Vale, short of another one of the gods themselves if they're having their petty squabbles again. She has not been seen for quite some time.
Oh, those gods and their deceptions. That cursed Phoenix with his tricks. Who knows who could it be? Well, we'll be on our way then. Thank you so much for the warning.
Of course, and goddess's blessings to you all.
And to you as well.
Okay, it's fairly early still in the day. Take you about another 3 hours if you want to continue just to kind of skirt the Vale to either side and go around to Nykthos.
Yeah, I think I want to go around to Nykthos. Anyone else in that camp with me?
I agree.
Sure.
Maybe we feeling bloodthirsty, we hit on the way back, eh? Let's go, come right through. And
You never know what can happen.
maybe we talk to the Doma, he tells us some shit, we say, oh, maybe this thing in the Vale is, or the Wale is fucking shit, we go back and we engage. But perhaps for now we leave it. Yeah.
As you keep skirting around, you do run into about 2 or 3 more of these druid camps with these different satyrs kind of like setting up, and just from kind of listening to their overall talk, you get the idea. Some of them are talking about giant spiders. There's some talk about a lion that's been like roaring and like tearing apart the trees. There's talk of even like the sprites and the pixies turning against them. There's some talk of, you know, some of their companions not making it out, getting lost in the middle of the Vale. There's a lot of talk of where is Nylea, why would she abandon us, all this kind of stuff, and a little concern of what Cressa is going to end up doing about it. But as you all kind of start heading a little bit further north into the mountains, the trails kind of gets less grassy, things get a little bit less vegetation, starts heading up into some mountain pass, and within about an hour you do kind of reach the outside of the Temple of Nykthos. You can kind of see it from before you get there. It's a pretty open space. There is a giant like stone arch at the end of this kind of mountain path that has the constellations of the gods, of all 15 gods of Theros, kind of carved on this door. And that's about all that you guys can kind of sort of see from the outside.
I'll take Joven aside for a moment and I'll say, if we meet Modomai, I will distract him, and you can use the opportunity to steal his treasure. Yes? 40-60 split?
My favor?
Of course, Joven, of course. I would not, you know, it's just a finder's fee, you know?
I accept.
Excellent.
So as you approach the temple door, the door is open. When you go to push it open, you do find that the inside is dimly lit. There are some torches that are hanging on the walls. The place looks fairly old. It looks like no one has been here for quite a while. There is dust on the floor. There are cobwebs on the walls, but the torches all glow in this bright bluish flame that flickers like natural candlelight or firelight, but it is glowing kind of this blue color, so it gives the whole place kind of this dim, kind of dark sense to it.
I will mutter a few words under my breath and extend my hand, and before stretches a little twinkle of starlight reaching out, and a hand forms, and I will cast Mage Hand and attempt to pick up a torch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll light one too that I have.
How? What's the pound limit?
I believe it is 10 pounds for a Mage
10
Hand.
pounds. Okay.
But I might be wrong about that, I can check.
So yeah,
10 pounds, yes.
You can grab this torch off the wall with your mage hand, and it kind of brings it back to you. Do you want it just to kind of like hover next to you?
Yes, for the next minute, I will maybe recast it, but for right now, I think it can just hover.
Okay. Alright, so we have 2 torches lit, which will affect what other
Actually,
players
I
around
have
you
a-
can see.
I have a lantern.
Okay.
I would like to use that.
Like a hooded lantern?
I do, yes, yep.
Do you want to keep the hood completely up? Because that will increase the radius of your light. Or you can narrow it down to make it just like a pin, like a small stream of light.
I'll open it up at first. Just kind of see where we are.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Light.
I'll start moving as soon as the torches are lit. I'll start moving forward.
Okay.
I'll follow behind.
You guys should be able to move your own tokens, and as you move them, you'll be able to see what you see.
Oh, very nice.
Quite a big place.
So as you get to this first kind of crossroads, you do notice there is a stone door, both to your left and to your right, and you can barely make out a couple of 60 or 80 feet in front of you this room where there is another lantern lit on the wall, and there appear to be these giant like stone, almost like a step pyramid looking thing that's in this room directly to the north of you.
What is that?
I don't know. Let's get a look around each room.
No, let's not do that.
Why not?
Why do it when my darling Calliope can do it for us? I see. My little lady, it's your turn. Let's go. And I'll have Calliope go investigate the step pyramid ahead of us.
Okay.
And she scurries. She's this very light gray, brownish gray rat. And she just scurries along the floor up this corridor to the step pyramid area.
Okay. And does she have dark vision?
I don't know. I guess it would depend. Does it depend on the creature?
Yes.
Does a rat have dark vision? That's a good question.
I think
I
they
believe-
probably do.
I believe they
Yeah,
do.
30 feet of dark vision. Yep.
Okay. And so are you like doing the familiar thing where you're like looking through her eyes? Kind of sort of
I'll let her get a little farther, and then as she's going through that, I'll switch my perception. My eyes just go a deep kind of starry blue, and I will see through Calliope's eyes.
Okay. So she goes into the room. It is well lit because there is a lantern there on the wall. And she sees these 4 stone dials that are concentric circles, and each one is a little bit higher than the one on top of it. And they have these kind of wooden pegs sticking out at each level that appear so that these dials can be rotated.
I'll have her smell the air in that room to see if she smells anything.
Okay. It smells pretty musty, pretty dank. It doesn't seem... There's a lot of dust kind of floating in the air. There's cobwebs on the walls. It doesn't look like anyone's been here for a while.
Okay, I'll have her come back along the floor.
Did
yeah.
you have her crawl up on the dials by any chance?
No, I wouldn't risk her that way.
Okay.
Not if I could see it.
Mhm.
And I'll switch back. Some kind of large thing with things sticking out of it. Dials of some kind. Does not seem there's any traps leading to it, though. She would have triggered them if there were. Shall we proceed?
I do think so. Let's go.
All right, then.
What is this thing?
I don't know.
So now that you are all in the room, anyone who is looking at the dials can make a nature check for me. So,
Anything?
Hang on.
Damaskinos and Tehol, you would recognize, Bucephalus too. You would recognize constellations. That these look like stars. And there's kind of lines coming out to connect them. And it looks like kind of a hot mess. Like none of the lines line up right. But they do look like familiar constellations from the Therosian sky.
This looks familiar. Oh, we see this at night.
Interesting. How many levels are there to this pyramid? Or this step?
4.
So there's 4 dials?
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, what should we do?
Let's turn them.
Is there anything on the walls surrounding this thing?
There is not.
What if we try to turn them?
Well, what's gonna happen if we do that?
I don't know. Maybe it'll break.
Could I Could I see how we might make like change the constellations being projected here, or is that not possible at this point?
How to change them?
Like, is each dial projecting a single point on the constellation, or are they each projecting a different constellation?
So you recognize several of them. Like if you're to just walk around the outside, you would recognize several different pieces of constellations. Almost like you've spent some time at the planetarium in Melitus. This almost looks like a jumbled up version of what would be projected on a dome that the astronomers would look at or would project when they were studying the night sky.
Would I know which section of constellations inhabit which portion of the night sky? Is it something I could rely upon in my own memory?
That would be a nature or a survival check, but sure. Your choice.
I'll do nature. Only on 11.
An 11. I'd say you'd be fairly confident of which ones are supposed to be there, like, currently.
Alright. I have a decent idea about what the night sky currently would look like if we want to move it to that configuration.
All right, so let's do it.
Unless anyone has a better idea.
Seems as good an idea as any.
Gotta start somewhere.
What are these like areas on the wall here? Are they like supposed to be? What do they look? Different areas of wall? The lighter ones?
They are like here.
Yeah.
They do look like you can see an outline that looks like it could be a door, but there's no handle, there's no keyhole. It's solid stone, but you can see like a 5-foot square outline. Here, and here.
All right. We each take a dial. Yes, we move it to the current configuration.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Okay. So at Damaskinos' request, you kind of grab hold of these different wooden little kind of handles that are popping out and start rotating. You find that they do rotate both counterclockwise and clockwise. And Damaskinos is telling everyone how are you telling them to arrange them?
No, does not connect there. Tassa is there. Atrios is there. Eliod is there. We must move. We must move that one.
And the goal is to get it to look like what, Damaskinos?
What I would know is the current configuration. What the current hemispherical observable sky looks like.
Like as close to last night as you can get it.
The last time I went to the observatory, I guess.
Okay. All right, so
Or,
it takes.
I don't know if I can account for changes since then.
It takes a couple of minutes, and there's some people that are kind of going the wrong way, and Damaskinos is saying clockwise, and no, the other clockwise, no, turn it the other direction.
Your other clockwise.
He's getting a little frustrated, but eventually, as these white wheels are getting turned, and Damaskinos kind of looks happy with the sky, there's kind of this loud kind of clunking noise, and all of a sudden, the dials don't turn anymore. They kind of stop, and you hear this sound that's like grinding of stone on stone. And
Kirinar, you broke it.
these walls
I didn't break it.
that were originally closed now slide open.
See?
You broke the wall.
I fixed the damn thing.
Interesting. Be very careful. Whoever designed this place was very cautious.
Well, which way do we want to go?
Well,
I always go left.
Left it is. I don't see anything.
It's because it's really dark, and the only two people that have torches.
there's something to the left. We go left again.
Oh shit, this looks like some fucking shit down there.
All right, so Joven and Kirinar, you're kind of the first to come into this room, and you see these 4 large male statues that are over a giant fountain or a pool, and each of them looks like they should be holding something in their hands, but currently their hands are empty. There is nothing in the fountain. And there are these 4 torches that are kind of on the corners of the walls.
I kind of like walk up close to this one. Does it look any different than the other 3?
To which one?
Excuse me, this one over here to the right. Does it look any
Okay.
different than the other 3? From what I can tell?
Just from looking at it, no, they actually, all 4 of them look exactly identical.
Identical? Okay.
Does it look like anything was once present in this middle area over here?
Let's see. Give me an investigation check, Damaskinos.
Investigation. Now we're talking. Oh, only a 12.
So you do kind of find there are bits of dirt and almost mud-like substance that leads you to believe at some point in time there might have been water in here.
Can I get an idea of anything of what's missing from the statue's hands, like based on the shape that is absent?
The only thing that you can guess is because of the way that their hands are cupped, it's probably circular or oval shaped.
Alright, I'm going to cast Silent Image and I'm going to make this shape of a slightly ovoid a stone shape, and I'm going to attempt to place it directly into one of their hands, into this north statue's hands. And I'm going to snap my fingers, I'm going to make it real.
Okay. I need everyone in the room to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
$20.
Nice. Lots and lots of high rolls. This is good for you guys. So, as you make this kind of, I don't know, urn or vase real in its hands, a noxious green gas starts flowing from the urn into the fountain, and it quickly fills up the room, and all of you take 9 points of poison damage.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm sorry, you all saved.
Half.
You all take 4 points of poison damage.
Get the fuck out, yes, somewhere one of these.
There are 4 rooms. We should
Pick
check them
one.
out.
Well, it's not this one, so let's move to one of the others.
I'll move towards this one.
I love this.
That
And-
didn't help at all.
Ah!
Damn it!
Bucephalus, you now notice on the wall right next to you, the poison gas is kind of dissipated, so it's kind of flowed out of the room. But you notice a golden plaque on the wall
Okay.
that's kind of right here on this wall.
This one.
And written in common are the words, "We know the answer. It is revealed in time. Return our vessels."
Comic Sans. Ah.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Roll20 has like 3 fonts to choose from, so there you go.
Well, hey, we look at this one hallway, it led us right back to this room. How many more could there be, right?
No, let's try this one.
Let's check this one.
Oh.
Yeah, split the party. I love it.
Nothing here.
Where did everybody go? Hello?
Over here.
Oh, alright. Where are we going?
Is there anything down here?
Didn't we come from here? Isn't this where we came
this
from?
is the entryway. Yeah.
We're going back around in circles. You want to look this way? See what's down here?
Let's go.
It's going to lead us back to the beginning again. Eh. Hold on, wait. Wait,
like
wait,
Pac-Man.
wait,
It's like
wait for
Pac-Man.
everyone to catch up. There's only 3 of us here.
There's like Pac-Man rules where we gotta go, but just pop out the others.
Hey, we're over here.
Okay, there is some light coming from this chamber
I think
we're
ahead
missing-
of you.
I think we might be missing one of us.
Where's Tongue Hole?
He's back looking at statues. All right, when you come into this room, you see a variety of urns on different pedestals at different heights. There are a total of 12 in all.
What is anything decorating these urns? Anything special?
Yes, they all do have some writing on them, but it is in a language that I don't think any of you speak. They look more pictorial than anything else.
Interesting.
Oh,
What?
Table's casting light.
I know a few.
You couldn't
I
see
know a few
anything.
different languages. Maybe I might know it.
Well, what language is it?
What does it look like? What can I? Does it
Sorry.
remind me of anything?
I'm giving Table light so he can find you guys now, because you all left him and he couldn't see anything.
What did it say?
You said there's exactly 12 urns?
There are 12. And let's see. I don't think Michael would be the only one who possibly might know this language, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't. But all of you can roll a history check for me to see if you even know what language it is.
16.
$13.
Okay. Damaskinos, you've seen it before in a book. It is the language of sphinxes.
Oh. No, I don't know that one. The language of sphinxes. Interesting. And all of them are intact? He's gone.
He's telling them where we are.
Is there another? You said there's another plaque around.
In this room, there is not.
I wonder what happens if we break one.
Don't do that. What's over here?
Circles.
Okay. So,
Oh.
well.
Well, let's
Well.
excuse me. Just go back.
Right. So first off, you do
Oh
notice,
shit, what's that?
like, you can now kind of see the light that's emanating from Tehol, who's like 30 feet to the left of you. But this room. Oh, please tell me you're going in the water, Tony. Please tell me you're going in the water.
What? The water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They went
I
there.
stepped in the water.
I'm stepping very gently on the stairs right now.
Okay. So I
Are
love
you
it
big?
when the DM tries to tell you guys what's happening and you guys do stuff anyway.
I'm back here.
All right.
because horses
So
don't like
the two of you who have stepped in the water, these giant octopus tentacles that are on the walls animate and they start to reach out to attack both Kirinar and Joven.
Okay.
So a 21 against Kirinar.
Hold on. Okay. At just normal 21?
Yeah,
No
21 to
advantage?
hit. Mhm.
Alright. Yeah, that hits.
It's 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled and restrained.
Alright, I'm going to use Unscarred Resilience.
Which does what?
It reduces the damage by, I believe, a d12. Yep,
Okay.
d12. And add your con mod to the roll, so.
And Joven, it is a 22 against you.
Sure.
All right, I reduced
You're
the.
by 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 20. So it's 6 to you. 20 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Joven, and you are restrained and grappled.
Can I use evasion?
To take half
So-
damage?
Well, I have to make a dex saving throw. If I make the throw, or if I succeed, I take no damage. What are you talking about?
You're talking. It's a different thing. You're not
I
talking
have-
about evasion.
I have
How
two
many-
of them.
Yeah.
How many tentacles are on the wall? Like this lock?
Evasion. Evasion is an area of effect, and like a fireball or something. This is something that's attacking you.
Okay.
And uncanny dodge you can, which will half the damage against you.
Can I see where and what this is? What?
Yeah, as
Is
soon as I
grappling me now?
establish this damage, I'm going to tell you guys what you're seeing that's happening. I just need to
Yep.
figure out
just-
who's taking what damage first.
Take half damage then. Uncanny
so it's-
dodge.
10 points of damage and grappled and restrained. So, a couple of things when we run into this room. First off, there are stairs that descend into water. This is dark, brackish water that is slowly undulating and moving like the ocean. There are waves that are lapping up onto these stairs. There are some tentacles that are sticking out of the walls, and now this one and this one have lashed out and slammed into Kirinar and Joven and now have them held up in the air, restrained,
How high up in the air?
about 5 feet above the water.
How tall is the ceiling above us?
About 25 feet?
All right.
Does it look like they could reach that high?
Probably. Bucephalus and Damaskinos, you are now standing on a golden plaque that reads,
What does it say?
The Kraken, blinded, lashes out at friend and foe. The waves must be calmed.
Gotta do what I gotta do. I'm going to move right here. So is this right here? Is this in the water or not? If I was to
That
move here.
is, we'll say not.
All right. I'm going to move here, and I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on to Kirinar.
Okay.
I'm going to reach out like as high up as I can, like get on my back moves, just like and slide and hit him because it's a touch spell. I touch him, and I cast Freedom of Movement.
Well, he's up in the air, so to get to him,
5 feet, like
Yeah.
he's a horse going up on the back legs to try to reach up and touch him.
five feet of
Jumping
movement to escape.
if
Okay.
necessary.
From non-magical restraints. All
Yeah,
right. I don't know if it works on something that's already restrained. Like it won't break his restraint now, but he
As-
can't be restrained later.
The way I've always understood Freedom of Movement is you can cast it to get out of a restraint
You can cast it to get out of a non-magical restraint.
or a magical one as
The
well.
way
Like,
the
if
spell
I-
reads says non-magical restraints.
Yeah, so if it can't affect you, then it shouldn't be affecting you. That's how I'm reading it. But if I would
So-
understand that that's how it would work, then I wouldn't cast it.
So if you want to cast it on him now, if he breaks out, he will not be able to be restrained again. But it
All right.
doesn't break a restraint that he's already in if it's a magical restraint.
All right, I cast it. I cast the spell.
Okay. Damaskinos, Tehol, do you guys want to try and do something real quick before these Kraken arms do their next thing?
The waters must be calmed. The waters must be calmed. Yes, I'm going to... How big is this chamber, did you say?
It's like 40, no, 80, 85 by 75 and 25 feet high. Tehol, anything you want to do real quick?
Nope.
Okay. Kirinar and Joven, do you want to try and break out?
Yeah, I would be attempting to break it.
Okay. It is a strength saving throw.
That's good news. 23.
Kirinar, you break out and drop down 5 feet into the water.
Okay, I'll just I don't get anything. So 15.
You are still restrained, Joven.
Okay.
The Kraken kind of takes, kind of wields back, and it launches you out of the pool to this spot right here, and it just kind of flings you
Which spot?
right here out of the water. So it's only 5, 10, 15 feet away.
It's not doing it for me. I can't.
Oh, it's because
see
I'm
which
still
one.
in the GM layer. I'm sorry. It's here. So it only takes you. It only throws you about 15 feet from where you were, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as it throws you into the wall. And then the tentacles stop moving, and they kind of go back to their stationary spots.
Maybe we should go back to the other room first.
Yeah, I don't really want to go back in there anymore.
Maybe. All right, I'll head back. Let's go.
Okay.
Do
I
the
would like to-
pictures on these things look like anything, or is it just?
Before I leave the Kraken room,
Mm-hmm.
I have something I'm going to try.
Okay.
Let me just read this, make sure I understand this right.
And no, the writing on the urns, like, it obviously looks like pictographs, but you don't get the feeling that they're like symbolic of anything. They're like doodles and different lines and waves, and I guess it's
Alright.
probably more like cuneiform than a pictograph. Is probably a better explanation of it.
I point directly to the head of the Kraken.
Yep.
I'm assuming that appears to be stone as well.
It is, and you also, now that you take a look at it, you notice that it doesn't have eyes. Its eyes are missing.
Oh, they're missing. Well, I feel like I should try anyway, and I'm going to cast Daylight on right there.
Okay. And daylight is, it's a whole bunch of light.
Yeah, it's
60 feet?
60-foot radius, not diameter, radius.
60 foot of bright and then 60 foot of dim after that?
Yes, for an additional 60 feet of dim.
Okay. Boom. It is very bright in here now.
Thought that might do something. Alright.
Good try though.
The water still look the same?
That was clever.
It is still, it's not as rough as it was when the Kraken the tentacles were grabbing the other two, but it is kind of like rough seas. It is kind of rough water.
What do the tentacles look like when
they're
there's
made-
nobody in the water?
They're made out of stone, and so they're just kind of protruding out of the walls. Bucephalus, give me a perception check now that you've lit up the whole room, though.
Sure. Give you this fat 10. Oh, natural 20.
Hey, let's go.
So, Bucephalus, I need to put on so you can actually see it. Right here
Yes.
and right here, in the water underneath, even though it's kind of moving and undulating, and it's not smooth and it's not clear. It's kind of hard to tell, but because it's so much lighter in here and because of the natural 20, you do see a little bit of glinting at the bottom of this pool. Here and here.
Is it moving? Could I tell? Is it moving almost mechanically or not?
No, it's just like a stationary, like reflective glint.
Okay.
I'm in the room as well. Do I notice anything?
Make a perception check for me too. With an 11, I mean, you don't see the same thing that Bucephalus does. You do notice that the Kraken does not have eyes. You notice that the tentacles have seemed to stop moving, and the water is still kind of moving, although it's defying nature because the current is going in all directions. Not only is there water lapping up on your side, but now you can see that there are waves that are lapping up on the opposite side. It's almost as if the waves are being formed from the Kraken's head and going out.
Strange.
Hey, where the fuck are they? What happened?
Didn't want to follow us.
They're looking at octopi, and you are dealing with 12 urns that have stuff written on them.
Tehol, do you have any spells that maybe freeze the water, make the water stop moving?
No. I do have a spell that could carry me over the water, potentially.
Would you want to go see what's over there?
Terribly sorry, gentlemen. Now that you've lit up the whole room, there's one more thing that you see. On the walls and the ceilings of the room are decorated with a reoccurring symbol that looks like waves blowing on the wind. And both of you can give me religion checks, please.
Okay.
Tehol, you recognize that symbol to be the holy symbol of Thassa, the goddess of the sea.
All right. With my 4, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you've never seen it before.
I know, but I'm looking at it, and I'm going to go.
Just start blowing on the water.
Anything happen?
Surprisingly, no.
Hmm.
All right. My Chamber of Urns boys, what are you doing?
I think we need to take these into the other room.
All of them?
Yes, all of them.
All of
Wait,
them?
don't-
No,
Don't. Hold on. There are. What are they sitting on? Some kind of pillar?
On pedestals, yeah, of varying
Pedestal?
heights. But
Is
just
there
around-
anything on the pedestal?
No. I mean,
The
dirt,
pedestal.
dirt, dust, and cobwebs, sure.
I'm gonna pick a few up and put them down and kind of see if they're like different weights.
Okay. They are all of similar size. They look almost like identical except for the writing that's engraved on them. They all feel to be made out of the same... It looks to be stone, but it feels very smooth, like almost like polished stone. And they're all fairly heavy for what they should be. They seem heavier than stone.
Okay. Do I see anything in like, if I like peer down into the urns? Do I see anything or?
Yeah, they all look empty.
Okay. But besides being on pedestals, are they all relatively the same size themselves?
Yes, with the exception of the writing on them, they're all identical.
Okay.
Well,
What do these words say?
I cannot read this language. I don't know. This is the language of the Sphinxes.
What language is that?
Sphinx. Do not study it at the Katya. Leave these for now. We should go and check on our friends, see if they're alright. I don't think we should split up in here.
All right, let's go.
Yes, splitting up is murder on your DM, but that's okay. So you come back and now you see the room is much brighter. And now you all also see these symbols that are kind of on the high ceilings and the walls up top that look like waves blowing on the wind. You all can also make religion checks. All three of you recognize it to be the holy symbol of Thassa, the goddess of the sea.
Damaskinos, you are a man of tricks and a lot of parlor tricks. Do you have a way of making this water stop moving at all? Maybe freezing it or, I don't know, stopping it in time?
Stopping it in time, that would be a neat trick. Where... I don't know. You want me to stop the water from moving?
Yes.
Well, you made that giant fan thing
It's
before.
easier to move things than unmove them.
True, but
There are, I'm not sure if it matters, but over there, and I point to here and here, there seems to be some sort of reflective surface under the water, maybe metal or something.
Reflection?
Possibly?
How deep is the water? Do we get a sense of that?
With it moving, being this tumultuous, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
It was not so deep, though, that Bucephalus could see something reflecting the light that he created. So, it's definitely not like 50 feet deep or anything, because the light wouldn't be able to reach it down there.
Sure.
But when you splashed down, you didn't touch the bottom.
Okay.
This is the stone tentacle over here
Yes, there are 6
on
of
the
them.
left side.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, Kiranar, you still have freedom of movement on you for the next hour,
Okay.
or roughly 55 minutes.
Right.
Cool.
Cannot be restrained. No
Awesome.
difficult terrain. Cannot be paralyzed.
So these
I
tents
will.
just be trying to slap you.
I will cast. I will look at it and I will say, I cannot still the waters, but perhaps prevent us from touching them. And I will cast Major Image
Mm-hmm.
of a thick, like pine tree trunk, just going across to this first. Oh, how do I do that vector thing?
Click on the little ruler. It's like the circle with the little ruler in it.
Yeah.
And just kind of click where you want it and hold and draw.
So can I draw kind of that log slam down on this tentacle, and just so it doesn't touch the water, but like above the water, from where I am above on the stairs, like above
That?
the stair. Yeah, basically like that.
Okay.
It's within my. It has to be a 20-foot rate. No. I don't know if that's within something I can do.
20-foot radius.
No, hold on. Let me look up me. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. What did I say? A 20-foot cube.
Okay, so you could make a 20-foot log. So
Okay.
you could make it. You could draw it to this one.
Great. It's gonna be fucking bullshit. Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll see if I can do that.
Okay. Oh, not a square. That's not what I want to do at all.
Yeah, we're using the hypotenuse. It's a little bit more.
Right.
Does the tentacle react when a log hits it?
It does not.
That heck, Pythagoras. All right, let's go.
Let's go. What?
I'm gonna start crossing the log. I'm going to do sideways.
I don't know about this.
Damaskinos, you're crossing the log sideways.
I'm going to do the like in Dirty Dancing when they're like on the log. That's what I'm going to.
Yeah, like the crab walk across the log.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Give me a dexterity check at advantage.
Oh boy, this is my life.
Okay.
Natural 20, baby. Let's go.
He makes it look easy.
Swayze.
He looks back at you guys and goes, "I don't understand what the big deal is. Crossing that was the easiest thing I've ever done." And now he's kind of sitting on this stone tentacle.
It doesn't move when he sits on, like, touches it.
Nope.
I'm going to rotate my hands and I'm going to have the log lift up and slam down on the next one. Because I can move my major image at will.
Oh my god.
How long does this last?
It lasts for 1 minute in this casting.
Oh my god.
I don't know how long did you walk 20 feet? The dance walk 20 feet. I want to go to the next one if I can.
Okay, give me a dex check at advantage again. Okay.
Ooh.
You get about halfway through and you kind of slip for a second. You catch yourself, and then you shimmy all the way back over.
Alright. Let's see this.
From this vantage, you can now very much see what Bucephalus was telling you about anywhere between 15 to 25 feet down below the surface of the water, you see something that is reflecting the sunlight that is now in this chamber at the bottom of this pool.
Well, what do you see over there?
Something in the water. How the fuck am I here alone? What happened? This is a failure in planning.
What is jumping distance? Is it half your movement?
A long jump,
Yeah.
if you have 10 feet to move beforehand, like you get a running start,
Yep.
it's much longer, and I think for you it's like stupid long.
Yeah. That's
I'm looking, jumping. I know it's in here somewhere, because I've looked this up 20 million times. Jumping, long jump. Your strength score if you move at least 10 feet before the jump.
strength score.
So what is your strength?
10.
So you can go 10 feet if you get a 10-foot running start, but with Mirthful Leap, I think it does something different.
Yeah, I can add a D8 to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really far. Actually, I gotta hope I get a fucking 5, but I could try and jump it.
Because you could jump. It's from...
It's your mod though, see, so it's gonna be
20 feet. No, it's his strength score, not his mod.
Oh.
If he gets 10 feet, he could... A running start, he could jump 10 feet, but with a D8, you're not going to make it. You'd only get 18 feet, even if you rolled an 8.
Oh, it's
You got
20?
this! You can do it! It's only like 17 feet.
I mean, you might not know that it's 20 feet because you don't have a giant ruler in your backpack, but Tony the
Here.
player knows it's 20 feet.
Hey, Kieran, can you throw him? Maybe we'll go further that way.
I could try.
I could
I'm
help.
I'm not gonna let them throw me.
Alright, I'm going to get right as close as I can on the edge of the tentacle to the thing I see in the water.
Okay.
Right here-ish.
So, yeah, like
Like right here.
here. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Alright, I'm going to try to take a really good aim on it, and I'm going to reach out my same starlit hand, and I'm going to try to mage hand and see if I can reach down and on the bottom, like when you're trying to look for something in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to see if I can see if there's anything down there.
Yes. Can mage hands be targeted by things?
I don't know. It's spectral
invisible.
hand.
It's invisible.
It is spectral floating hand. It has no HP, or I don't have any stats for it.
Okay. So,
I'm getting more Russian.
yeah, I know. It's hilarious.
It's more
Alright.
ethereal, right?
Mage hand. I need to read mage hand real quick just to understand how this works.
From mysterious eastern country. Hello.
Oh, Boris.
Want to go bowling?
Magic items. Okay. So, here's what happens. Your hand breaks the surface of the water, and this tentacle like goes to try and grab it or like slap at it, and it can't. Like, it kind of keeps going through the hand, or it can't get a hold of the hand. Your hand goes down to grab whatever it is that you see that's at the bottom that's reflecting, and your hand can't pick it up. And you, Damaskinos, don't know if it's because A, it weighs more than 10 pounds, or B, it's a magical object that Mage Hand can't manipulate. But either way, your hand is there, it just can't do anything once it's there.
Shit.
But it's a good idea.
Alright. I have another one.
Everyone's forgetting the easiest idea.
You got a rock?
What?
Do you have a rock?
A rock? No, why?
Why not just drop a rock on it?
What?
What would that do?
I don't know. You're trying to break it, right?
Is it not the eyes? Why would you want to break it?
I don't know what it is. What do you think it is?
I guess I have to state what I think it is twice for you to understand. I think it's the eyes.
Oh,
Why aren't we worrying about getting it out rather than what it is? Does anybody have a long weapon or something we can use?
I think I could get it out, but it'll cost you.
Maybe fish it out of the water.
What is it worth to you all to get it out?
don't you also want it out? Isn't that why you are here?
No. I'm here to make money.
I'll give you 5 gold.
I don't acknowledge that he even spoke.
Oh, is that not enough for you?
I was thinking even less than that, so.
I
Well.
mean,
Well, it does say on my character sheet I overlook simple answers in favor of complicated ones, so I'm going to make a major image of a water wheel.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it so that it is at the stretching before this area, and it's going to try to pick up the water and dump it into the other chamber.
Okay. We're talking about
Millions.
I'm getting a calculator here, but
Millions of gallons of
75 times 25. We're talking about 160,000 cubic feet of water.
Yes, I know. As soon as I make the water wheel and it breaks the plane of the water, and I assume the tentacle's going to slap at it, I jump into the fucking water.
Okay.
No!
All right,
Wow,
you jump
I
into
like
the
it.
water, and this tentacle also now attacks you.
Kirinar, you cannot be grabbed. Go.
It's a 34 hit, Damaskinos.
I say, oh! Ugh! And then the real me goes, oh my god, that was awful! And I use my illusory, my reaction of my illusion wizard, that was a fake in your head.
Okay.
It wasn't the real me.
Oh, that's cool.
I will link the ability.
That's cool.
Yeah, this, you guys see this Damaskinos get absolutely wrecked by this thing. And then, you don't see me jump into the water.
But you fall into the water because the tentacle you were on tried to obliterate you.
I mean,
No, I mean, I jumped in the water. That's why it reacted to me.
right.
I jumped off the tentacle.
You're still in the water. It just misses you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going down. I'm going with my as best I can, my magical torch if it's still lit. I'm
Okay.
gonna go to see if I can get the thing.
And your movement speed is what? 30?
Normally it's 30 feet.
Halved 15. Okay, so you dive 15 feet down. You can get down. You kind of reach the bottom.
Can I see the object?
Yes, it is a sapphire that is about. It looks like the size of a very large football.
All right. I'm going to try to pick it up.
Okay. Yeah, it's heavy. It's about 15 pounds.
Wait, that's a heavy one. But I guess also in the water, right? A little bit of that, All right, what the fuck am I going to do here? All right. Let's see. I have it in my hands.
You do have it in your hands.
All right, I'm going to say, oh, let's get the fuck out of here, yeah? And I'm going to, well, I don't need to do this. It's just a flavor. It's only verbal. But I'm going to trace the tattoo of a door right on my, this part of, this bridge in my hand. And I'm going to cast Dimension Door to the Kraken head above me.
Poof. So you guys see Damaskinos just pop out of thin air holding a giant 2-foot oblong sapphire in his hands.
My strength is not to die. And I'm just gonna try to drop it into the fucking empty eye socket if I can.
Yeah, you kind of lean down, and it
I'm just carrying a really heavy package. I'm like, ugh.
You almost feel this magnetic, almost kind of grip as the eye gets close enough that it almost gets sucked into the eye socket.
1.
Kirinar, I'm fairly certain you can get the other one.
Probably could, but where is it?
It's right there. It's under the water on the other side. I summon my beam. This. Poof. Right there. You have
is your log still there? Have you done anything?
Oh no,
else?
that log is long gone.
you have freedom of movement, so these tentacles should have a much more difficult time getting a hold of you.
All right, I'll go for it.
Hang on. One more thing. And I'm going to touch him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast haste.
Oh, okay. Doubles his speed?
Double his speed and a few other little things, like he gets advantage on He gets advantage on he gets +2 to his AC. He gets advantage on dexterity saves. And gains an additional action on each of his turns.
Okay. And so that's good. Swimming won't affect you, so your speed is effectively doubled. So you can swim pretty damn fast.
I'm gonna try to stay in the almost exact center,
Okay.
hoping that they can't reach.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of edge towards the right, like this way.
Right. When you jump in and kind of as you're edging, they are definitely going to lash out at you. I mean, they have a 30-foot reach, so
Okay.
that is a 31 to hit.
Jesus.
That hits.
It's 20 points of bludgeoning damage, but you cannot be grappled.
20. Okay.
And that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. That's only 25 feet of your movement.
I'm gonna kind of. I guess I don't know if I can dash in the water, but
Should
yeah.
be able to,
Yeah.
I think.
mhm.
yeah. So I'm gonna dash kind of towards where that other spot would have been.
Yeah. And with
Watch out
that,
for the other tentacle!
with a dash and haste and freedom of movement, you could get all the way to the bottom and you find the other sapphire that's down there, and you could even swim all the way back up still in one round because you can move incredibly fast now.
Yeah, and I'll kind of climb up onto this skull
Mm-hmm.
and drop the other one in.
All right. You kind of feel the same thing that Damaskinos felt as it gets within inches of kind of it. It's almost this magnetic feeling, and it kind of sucks into place. The chamber lets out this kind of huge, like loud knocking sound. The water instantly calms. It is now a smooth, reflective surface. You can see all the way to the bottom of this bright pool. The tentacles stop moving, and you hear an echoing kind of knock again further somewhere west in the temple.
Ah!
Well, nicely done.
Good job.
Thanks, Bucephalus.
Good job.
And with
You have
it
freedom of
being-
movement. Yeah, you have freedom of movement for the next 46 minutes.
With it being almost 9 o'clock, gents, I think this might be a good place to stop for the evening. Resting on the top of a flooded kraken's head, seemingly possibly solving one of the puzzles of the Temple of Nykthos.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's see.
Good job, guys.
Damaskinos,
Thanks.
4 points to increase your piety.
Thank you.
Joven, 2. Bucephalus, 2. Tehol, 3. And Kirinar, 3.
We all started with 25, right?
20.
Or 20.
But
20.
and I gave you an increase last time, Kirinar. So yours
Okay.
might
Alright.
have been higher.
Okay.
And yeah, that's kind of where we're going to leave off. So hopefully those of you in chat, if you have any idea about the urns that these guys might need a little bit of extra help with, feel free to shoot some ideas to them. And if you're around on Thursday, we have Humblewood at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. If you definitely know the answers to these puzzles, come back next week, next Monday, and help these guys out and help them get through this temple to find the oracle. And thanks for watching. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out to our
you.
producer who's doing all this wonderful map stuff for us too, so you guys can
Mhm.
see what our guys are seeing. And we'll see y'all next week. Thanks a lot.
Peace.